Hey guys, welcome. Coming to you live on this Super Bowl weekend. Coming to you live from Philadelphia. It is the Crossover Sports Podcast, episode 69. Right now, I'm rocking out solo. Right now, I'm soloing this podcast. Right now, uh, people should be in later. I know Matt's coming. Uh, but until then, we're gonna be rocking out by myself until then. So it's going to be a great podcast. Uh, yeah, yeah. So hopefully, oh, Amina just woke up. She's on her way. Uh, so yeah. So, but until then, I'm your host. For those of you that have not watched the show, I'm the host with the most, Colin. The brains of the operation of this podcast. But yeah, so we're gonna rock. So we're gonna rock out. Yes. So as we always start the show, this is we start with our crossover hot takes, and the first one, for those of you that don't usually watch the show, you don't know what a crossover hot take is. Crossover hot take is our part of the program where we dive into the some things. So maybe this could be our non-sports related stuff, or it could have a lot to do with sports. It depends on the week. This week, due to what it is being Super Bowl weekend, a lot of our stuff to this week has a lot to do with sports. So, first question is: Demore Smith's uh, Demore Smith, he's the president of the NFL Players Association. He came out with a quote saying this that the union is approaching the next CBA, which is up. I think the next CBA comes up in 2020 or 2021, I believe. Like it's war. So the question is, uh, since Demore Smith is approaching the next CBA as a war with that comment, does this mean we are headed for a strike in 2020 or 2019, 2021 in the NFL? Uh, I believe, and I've said this before, I'm calling it now, that we are heading to a strike in the NFL. There she is. She just woke up, but here she is rocking out at the podcast. Amina, go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hi, this is Amina coming to join everyone this afternoon, and let's have a good show.
All right, Amina. So I was just about to go, but I'll let you have at it first. Demore Smith's war comment. He came out and said that the NFL Players Association is approaching the next CBA, which should be in 2020, 2019, or 2021. Haven't really been able to lock it down, but I think it's 2020. Does this mean we are headed with that comment? Does this mean we are headed for a strike in the NFL? Our favorite thing to say about an NFL strike. Go ahead, Amina. What does it mean?
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, we don't know the future outside of God, but it's been talks, for the last one or two seasons in back rooms and closets and other places. So we'll see. I also know that the players in the NFL with their contract situation is a big contributor to a possible strike, and their contract situations still haven't been resolved. So, hey, maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Okay. Well, let me say this. I agree with my sister. I believe that the NFL is headed for a strike. Here's why I say that, right? Because Demore Smith, you know, he's been seeing all the stuff with the with the NBA and everything, and them not really having like a strong, everybody says that the NFLPA is one of the weakest unions in major sports, right? He's been hearing the chatter and everything, and he doesn't want to let the league get the better of him. And I'm sure they're riding high because they were able to get the NFL to commit money to social justice organizations, and so they're riding high. They're riding high, and I have to give it to the Player Association, the Morris Smith, for what they did as far as what's going on with the social justice things. I know that some people disagree about the Players Coalition and stuff, but I think the activism, I think that that's a huge win for the Players Association. Now, off of that, I think the Morris Smith is kind of feeling himself, and I really do. I hope that they get fair contracts. I hope they get guaranteed contracts and everything. I hope he gets everything that he wants, that the players that he represents want, obviously. But in the NFL, unfortunately it's an owners league. A lot of people are not as don't think outside the box. A lot of football fans side with the owners for some reason, and it's all in. The one thing that the NFL gets right is the whole they win the narrative battle. The owners somehow keep on winning the narrative battle, even though it's the players that are the underserved population in the NFL. They're the ones that wind up playing. They wind up getting concussions and everything. Somehow the owners end up winning the war every time, and I never understand how us as fans, keep on buying this narrative that these rich owners somehow need more money and they don't have to play their players equally. And I really do believe, I say this about the NCAA, I'm definitely going to say it about the NFL. These players should have guaranteed contracts. They shouldn't have to lose out on money because they get released or cut, especially in a cold-hearted league like the NFL. It shouldn't happen. But this is why you have CBA. So hopefully now with stronger footing, the more Smith can and his players, and hopefully the players have the will for a strike. And they don't have the will for a strike, then the owners will keep doing what they want to do. But yeah, the NFL is definitely heading for a strike. Yeah, it's probably going to happen. All right. So on to our next question. So Amina, what do you think the state of the black? What do you think is this is black? This is should say it. For those of you that don't know, February is Black History Month, so we're gonna try and get some like black cultural stuff in here as far as sports and athletes. So just fair warning with that. So what is the state? What do you believe the state of the black athlete is in 2018? Go ahead. Are you there?
Oh, sorry about that. I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Um, what I was saying is that I believe that the state of the black athlete in 2018 continuation of where athletes of various sports organizations have been going for the last 2 years since 2016 when Kaepernick started his movement. Um, it's only February 3rd today, so we have a whole year ahead of us to see what 2018 cements itself as far as social activism with athletes and different organizations. But I believe it'll be more a continuation. There's always a big major thing with sports every year, at least one thing. So we'll see how that goes. Um, I think it'll be more people coming out in support of social activism that's in sports leagues because it's not as hush hush shamed anymore. You can openly, freely support things. I mean, the NFL players with the kneeling. Then you got other organizations that are doing their forms of protesting or financial donations or whatever. So I believe people are going to eventually become creative in their own way to do social activism when it comes to sports. We're going to possibly see some things we ain't never seen before, but it'll be all right. The state of the black athlete also to me means that athletes are no longer going to be quiet like they once were in yesteryear. They're more vocal today than they've ever been before. So it would be nice to see different players and different sports teams come together to do something. Go do tours, speak at schools, do the spring is coming, so commencement ceremonies are coming, so it'd be nice to see some type of social activism from sports teams at their graduation ceremonies this year. So it'd be a whole lot of different variables that could possibly happen. But I believe that athletes are no longer going to be silent about things that they once had to by the power or the forces that be. So it's a different climate in sports now as far as the mood and atmosphere. Some folks don't like it, some folks do, but hey, either way, it's getting messages across that once were silent. So it's moving in the proper direction. They have other things to tackle as far as social activism as well, but starting with police brutality is a great step in that. So we'll see how we go, how they go with that.
So I believe that 2018, when we saw this a little bit in 2017, especially in the NFL, I believe we're going to start seeing integration of the movement. And so here's what I mean by that, right? I believe that on the Eagles, right, on our Super Bowl winning team. By the way, go fly Eagles, fly. Uh, but on our Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles, right, starting to see the integration of the movement. We've had this year and this football season towards the end of 2017 going into 2018 we've seen white athletes start getting involved in kneeling during the anthem. We saw it in Cleveland with Seth DeValve, I believe his name was, the tight end, getting involved. So we see more white players getting involved. Chris Long really got it started, Philadelphia Eagles, by had touching his shoulder to Malcolm Jenkins when he was raising his fist during the national anthem. And so I believe that now the state of the black athlete is very strong. Matter of fact, it's at one of the strongest it's ever been now, and that's because of social media. That's the power of social media. For a while, these athletes only had one platform, which was their press conferences. And with the press conferences, that's NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever sponsor, whatever sports league, a sponsored press conference. So when you were doing all when you had all that, obviously you didn't want to say anything about this. This is what Michael Jordan got flack for. Didn't want to say anything that would harm the money. And most of these athletes back then and even now didn't say much. But now because of social media, now because of LeBron James, now because of Serena Williams, now because of Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony making stands at award shows and stuff. Because this is the power of social media, the power of stand. Now because of Twitter and Instagram and all that, people can make stands now. And this has made the athletes more powerful. Even Muhammad Ali, he had to go a lot through the media
to make his stand. He said what he wanted to say, and that had to be carried by the newspapers, and that's what really got him attention and everything. But now you have social media, and that's why a lot of people believe our president is so powerful because now he can just just tweet words and it goes out to his followers, it's retweeted, and it's powerful. Just the same for these athletes. The black athlete is strong because of social media, right? And because of the platform that they have through social media. Don't get me wrong, these athletes would be powerful without social media, but their platform is even bigger now because of social media. Now they don't need these teams. Now they don't need the press conferences and everything to get through the stuff. Now they can just do it unfiltered and say and get it out there to their fans and to the people. And in 2018, to Amina's point, I think we're definitely going to see. Like I said, I think 2017 and 2018 will be marked by uh, white athletes joining it. So, like I said, in the NFL, we've had, like I said, Seth DeValve, Chris Long, and others getting involved in the national anthem protest. Now in the NBA, we're going to see. It's basketball season now. Basketball is going to have its shine until June. We'll see what happens there. We have college sports. There's not really anything for real going on in college sports. I believe the biggest one there was my alma mater, Albright, not letting kicking the player off for kneeling, and then we had something that Kennesaw State really hasn't been much at colleges as far as athletics and people protesting. But we got baseball coming up. It's going to be a lot. But I think we're in the year now where the African American athletes have made their stand. Now it's time for the white athletes to join in and let us know where they stand, to add their voice to the moment. So I think like I said, the black athlete is strong, and I think we're in the year now where we're going to have the year. And I hate saying it like this because it's got a lot of certain historical connotations. But now is the year of white athletes integrating themselves into the movement and figuring out where they stand on it. Figuring out if patriotism is more important than the fact that your teammate, the person that you were in a huddle with, the person that you play games with, can't walk no matter who they are, can't walk in public without being identified by their race before they're identified by their athletic prowess. You know what I mean? So this is where I think we are in 2018. So Amina. On to our next question. What would a Super Bowl win mean for the city of Philadelphia from our Eagles? Go ahead, Amina. Amina, you there?
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
First and foremost, it would cement the NFC East and the NFL because I believe when the Eagles win tomorrow that they'll be the only division with all Super Bowl wins. Um, you can fact check me, but that's what I was under the impression. Second, this is the third time that the Eagles have been to the Super Bowl, but they lost the first two times. So, the saying, third time's a charm. So, God willing, tomorrow, their third time will be their charm. Third, it would be something beautiful for lifelong Eagles fans that are alive to witness. I mean, the Eagles organization has been in existence for 84 years. And in those 84 years, the Eagles have not accomplished a Super Bowl win. So, nearly a century later of Eagles fans that have came and gone in life. It's a dedication from their fan base that they keep coming back every season, knowing that the team is very predictable and they're playing, and for them to come this far after having a record-breaking season with a coach that's only been here for 2 years and a fresh young quarterback and Carson Wentz and Nick Foles just to back up and doing a dynamic job. I think this team is on its way to being talked about for many years ahead. Philadelphia, personally, when the Eagles do win tomorrow night, oh, it's going to be crazy in this city. It's going to be more insane than it was 10 years ago when the Phillies won the World Series. Um, Philadelphia has diehard sports fans, whether you're a fan of local teams or other teams. So the passion is high, the anticipation is great, and the necessity to get this win tomorrow, especially against the team we're playing against, it's it's either do or do. It's no in between or neutral area. It's get the job done and bring the trophy back home. It's truly remarkable how also for Philadelphia, for the Eagles, that this team went in this season back in the summer last year for training camp and preseason, and people were saying, "Oh, they gonna finish last in the division. They're not gonna make it far." But the Giants finished last this season in the division, so that says a lot. So these Eagles, they took one, like always tell people, take one game at a time. The Eagles, they took one game at a time, and they got the job done. I mean, and I think it's contributed also to the spiritual background of many of the players. They all believe in higher power, so they all pray, and they need to have a prayer circle tomorrow before they go out in the field and just get the job done. I mean, God has them. So I'm very proud of my hometown football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and Nick Foles. The whole fan base is counting on you tomorrow to get the job done. So Philadelphia is going to have a reason to smile for a very long time come tomorrow night when they win. So I'm looking forward to watching the game tomorrow.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you about life, man. As a Philadelphia Eagles fan, it's the day I uh, came out the womb. Philadelphia Eagles fan for 20, I don't tell my age, but for 20 plus years of existence. It's been a ride, man. The last time the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, I was, let's see, that was 13 years ago. I was getting ready to turn 15. I was still in middle school, I believe, in eighth grade, because I didn't fail the year. So eighth grade, I was in the latest part of my eighth grade year, and the Eagles, them Eagles, man. Love Donovan McNabb, loved it all. The Eagles were my team. They always have been my team. I don't want nobody to get it twisted. The Eagles are my team. Them, but they're the hometown team, and I am so amped. Amina already knows I'm so amped about this game. It's going to be great, and what a win would mean for the city of Philadelphia. Some people think Philadelphia has this little brother syndrome and everything, because between New York and DC and everything, Philadelphia don't have. To me, let me tell you, as a native Philadelphia, I as a Philadelphia don't feel inferior to anybody in New York or DC. Actually, let me just say that. There's some people that feel that there's like this little brother thing between Philadelphia, New York, and DC. Nah, man.
Because ain't nothing good about those cities besides their sports teams. I've been to New York. I've been to DC. I can tell you personally, I've lived in DC for a couple of years. I can tell you the truth. There's nothing great about either of those cities, and at Kyler W. Watson if you wanted to be that. But for New York, their sports teams, mostly the Yankees, because everybody else outside of the Yankees and the Giants haven't done anything in recent history. So, DC is DC, good little city, a little bit too expensive. Both of them are way too expensive. But anyway, I feel, as a Philadelphian, there's no inferiority complex. Some people feel like it is. I don't. There's no inferiority complex. Philadelphia is a better city. And what a win would mean for the city of Philadelphia, guys. There's no team that personifies Philadelphia like these Eagles, man. The Eagles are, I like to say, this is a football and basketball town, right? When the Eagles aren't playing, we're watching the Sixers. And when either one of those teams aren't playing, then maybe we'll watch the Flyers. Everybody got their teams. For me, it's the Eagles and the Sixers, right? But the what would it mean for this city? It would mean everything because like I said, the last major sports team to win the championship was the Phillies, and we tore the city down for the Phillies. And so, what a win's going to mean for the Eagles, since that's the since that's the 1A team in Philadelphia, 1B being the 76ers, we are going to tear. Not we. I'm not going to partake. But I'm going to be celebrating. I won't be tearing stuff down and being on anything or climbing lampposts or something. But when we win tomorrow, we are going to be celebrating like Amina said. There's going to be people in the streets. That parade's going to be lit. Like y'all thought the Phillies parade was lit. The Eagles parade. The Eagles are like the team here. Like everybody, if you're nothing else in this city, like you say you're a Philly sports fan, everybody's number one team in Philadelphia. If you live in Philadelphia, grew up in Philadelphia, it's the Eagles. Then it's every other team, man. The Eagles are the personification of this city. And you feel it. You feel it when the Eagles lose in this city. But when they win, man, woo, it's going to be everything to the city. Like we could always say, everybody always gets us about the Eagles. They say the Eagles have never won a championship. The only team in Philadelphia to never win a Super Bowl, to never win its championship, And you know what? That's true. But after tomorrow, they won't be able to say that. The Eagles are going to break the curse as the lovable losers in this city, and they're going to be winners personified in the city because EAGLES, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm going to be a full homer on this question. You know what? The Eagles, what is going to mean to the city? Everything. The Eagles will finally have a Super Bowl. No one will ever be able to say that anymore. And the people that despise the Eagles because they're from Philadelphia, and I've had one person tell me that, they would rather die than see the Eagles win a championship. After tomorrow night, they can be on their bane. I'm going to speak for the city of Philadelphia. You're going to have our permission to die. Those of you that have ever said that you rather die than see the Eagles win the Super Bowl, don't worry. You're going to have our permission after tomorrow because we're going to celebrate. We're going to go to work on Monday celebrating. We're going to go to work on Tuesday celebrating. And whenever that parade is, we're going to line the streets of Broad Street, go all the way down to the stadium, and we're going to have a full-on party for the EAGLES. Because the Eagles are that team. They're the personification of this city. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I mean, you got anything else to add to that? I'm going to take that as a no. All right. Moving right along. Well, they're not here. So, Amina. This is a college basketball question. So, is Trae Young, he's a freshman at Oklahoma, the first in the Steph Curry mode of NBA players? Go ahead, Amina. Amina, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Uh, you didn't have anything to add after I said what I said to number three, did you?
Were you asking me the question or were you going to start?
What the Trey Young question?
I heard your question, but were you asking me or were you going to start?
I mean, it's whatever. I can start,
Okay, you can start.
or you can Trey Young. All right, cool. So Trey Young, he is a freshman at the University of Oklahoma, and he's a undersized point guard. I think he's about 6 foot. Might be like,
He's six
well,
two.
he's 6'2". All right, there you go.
He's an
He's
inch
six
shorter
two.
than Steph Curry.
So he's an inch shorter than Steph Curry. Bear in mind, this boy is only 18, so he still got some growing to do. So he might end up being taller than Steph Curry. But right now he's 6'2". Right? This boy can pull up. Basically, he got Steph Curry range, right? And I do believe, like my question says, I believe that he is he is the first of these Steph Curry like players. And we're gonna have a question later on about where the league is going. But yeah, he's the first in the Steph Curry mode. Like you know how I think for a while now we've been in the LeBron age of players. You know, athletic, the big athletic point forwards. Like this has been LeBron's league and the LeBron style of play when you have like the big athletically adaptable players, right? Now we're back to the little the little athletically adept shooters now. And this is where Trey Young comes in, man. This bull. I was watching a couple of his games because I'm the college basketball aficionado here. I was watching a couple of his games, and boy, can he pull up, man. He was pulling up from like ranges that only I felt Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and maybe Kevin Durant could hit. And I was watching this man pull up from basically half court, and I was all like dropping 40-point games. I think the last game I watched, he dropped 40. I know he dropped dang near 50 in another game. It was pandemonium in there, and I was just like, yo, this bull can really shoot. He might be the first Steph Curry like player in the college basketball, and there are going to be more because let's be real, there will always be a place for the LeBron James mode of NBA players, but we're not in the highlight reel dunk era anymore in the NBA. We're in the 3 point. You better be able to shoot from Steph Curry range part of the NBA now. And we're not in the highlight. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the dunks as well as anybody, but we are to the point in the NBA where you should be able to hit from everywhere in the 3 point line. Like you're not shooting from your team's half court logo. You probably won't have a place in the NBA. That's how it's looking right now. And this man Trey Young, yeah, he's the first of the Steph Curry mode of players. The Steph Curry, the Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers mode of player because the Kevin Durant and the LeBron James like players, it seems like are moving out of the league, are going extinct because everything seems like it's moving towards the way Steph Curry and Klay Thompson play ball. Even though Kevin Durant obviously can shoot, but you know what I mean. So yeah, he's the first of the Steph Curry like players, and there will be more. Go ahead, Amina.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
you're good. I can. Yeah, you're good.
All
I
right.
can hear you.
Yeah. With your synopsis and my little research, I checked. He's 19. He'll be 20 this September, so he's a year older than you thought. So He's right entering the age where Steph Curry was drafted, and he was 21 when he was drafted in 2009. So he's 21, he's 30 next month. I watched a little clip of him, and he does remind me of him just a little bit. And you're right. This is the age of where players are playing more like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and others like them. The NBA, personally, in my opinion, is moving away from the big man on the court. Like players like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and all them, they're still successful. Of course, you can't take away their accolades and their accomplishments away from them. But the NBA doesn't really want players like that anymore. They want shooters, point guards, shooting guards, small forward. They want people like that. People shaped like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry with their body shape and structure. They want that now. They don't want a big man on the court anymore. And I just noticed that. So he's 19, so maybe in the next year or two we'll see where if he continues with the success he has at his college. We'll see if he's a possible NBA draft prospect. And wherever team he lands, hey, they'll be blessed to have him because it's a new generation of players in the NBA. This is not the NBA that people know and they grew up on. This is different. So he has a little bit of Steph Curry's playing style, I see. So we'll see how it goes. But as Kylan said, more players will be coming out that mirror Steph Curry. So this is his generation in the NBA. He's now in the NBA for 9 years and has a very beautiful resume to show for it. So this is his era of the NBA. So young high school and college students will be looking up to him now to be like him. Because first everyone wanted to be like Mike. Now people want to be like Steph. So I wish him all the best with his college education, his career, and maybe one day he'll be in the NBA.
All right, moving right along to our next topic. Actually, I'm gonna do a Kylan curveball. Uh, think about you hear about Russell Westbrook shoving the fan that got in his face because he ran on the court after they lost in Denver. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
So they had just lost the game to the Nuggets. Um, he had gotten the ball. The fan ran onto the court and was yelling in his face. He pushed them away. Nothing too violent. He didn't two piece them or anything. But uh, what's your thoughts on that? The NBA
Um,
said they're going to
this
investigate the incident, but this
this
fan
is just another. Oh,
ran. Hold on before you go. This fan ran onto the court. Russell Westbrook didn't go after him or anything. So he ran into Russell Westbrook's domain. Which you and the NBA said they're going to investigate it. And Russell Westbrook said himself he doesn't care if there's going to be a fine, but basically he said that the fan should know his place. They're probably gonna fine Russell Westbrook for putting his hand on the fan because the NBA doesn't want that reputation again. So go ahead.
yeah, this is just another situation about Russell Westbrook. His attitude, his aura, and all that is why he's been in the NBA now for roughly a decade and has no real success. Um, he just keeps putting his own foot in his way, like in life. Um, it's very unfortunate that he's now a seasoned NBA player and he's still doing the same things that he once did years ago. It's just like, when are you going to learn Russell Westbrook? Like, I see why people come to OKC and they want to leave, or they looking to get traded somewhere, because he's overbearing and overpowerful. I don't know what's up with him, but not on a regular basis, but every now and then I'm always hearing about something he did, something he said. So it's messed up. He has to get that in order, because it's messing up with his professional reputation, not only in the sports world but in the world in general. It's time to grow up, Russell Westbrook. You're not a young rookie anymore. You're a seasoned NBA player with no real success to your record, to your resume, might I add. So, hey, just get it together. Stop coming at fans. Stop coming at other players, and just get your job done. Use that energy you have to try to make it past the first round in the playoffs. And that's what I gotta say about that dude.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit with you because at this point, you're right. He has had no such success at anything. You know, obviously he has not made it past the second round in a while. Well, third round. He hasn't made it past the third round in a while. But he did make the Eastern Conference championship game, and then on that Eastern Conference, Western Conference championship game a couple of years ago. The last time Kevin Durant was on the team. He's had a moderately successful NBA career. Let's not lie about that. It's true, right? But I in this case I have to disagree because this isn't the fan ran onto the court and got into his domain. Now, if he had gone up there, been disrespectful, and covered the fan and everything, then yeah, I would totally agree with Amina and say, yeah, he's unprofessional. He don't know how to handle himself in public, blah 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 blah. But in this case, the fan came and yelled and got into his face. So this will be the one time where I'll say this. Russell Westbrook was totally in the right. He didn't punch the fan out. I think Steven Jackson, those of you who know Steven Jackson, he's an NBA player. He's also one of the famous people that went into the stands in Detroit, the Malice and the Palace, and punched fans. So in this case, I'm going to side with Russell Westbrook because all he did was just give him a little push, and then security came and kicked the fan out. The fan should never have gotten that close to Russell Westbrook, where he literally ran onto the floor to get into Russell Westbrook's face. So in this case, I have to agree. I have to say that Russell Westbrook was totally in the right. I hope the NBA doesn't fine him. I know that the NBA has this thing where they don't want any demonstrations of angry black players in their league. So, I fully understand where the NBA is coming from. Obviously, you want fans to be safe, but you got to set the tone that fans can't run on the floor while play is going on, or at the end when play is going on. This isn't college basketball where court storming is a thing. Like, there is no court storming in the NBA. So obviously, you have to set an example. They should ban that fan. If you gotta fine Russell Westbrook, moderately fine him. But the guy came into his domain on the NBA floor. It wasn't like I said, that he went up into the stands to find this guy and beat him up. That didn't happen. So in this case, I'm a side with Russell Westbrook. So moving right along to our not really to our last question, but following up on our previous question. I mean, is the NBA becoming a little man's league instead of a big man's league? To follow up on our last question, we kind of already answered this, but go ahead, Amina.
I don't want to say 100% yes, because sorry about that. Because there are still some big men on there in the league. Got Kevin Durant, LeBron James, um, A little bit of James Harden and others that are considered to be big men on the court. The NBA, however, is moving in the direction of a little man league. Teams are no longer focused on having one star to show and everybody else is, what they are. It's more of a group effort now where players that may have possibly not had the time to shine years ago are those that now have the eye of the fans. Because I can guarantee you that a lot of the players on my team, the Golden State Warriors, if this was, 10, 15, 20 years ago in the NBA, they were not, nobody would pay them any mind. They would not be the focus of people's attention. So the playing style, and the individual players, how they look, is changing. So it's still a little bit of the old mixed with the new in the NBA. I wouldn't say it's totally changed, but it's moving in a direction where the qualities that they look for in a player are changing. So it's moving in that direction. Moving in that direction. It's not totally there though.
Follow up on that. I mean, obviously, you still have it's not totally a little man's league. Obviously, you still have the athletic freaks like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and all of them. Uh, still playing in the league. But you see that each and every one of them, outside of Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant always could shoot. But you see that each one of them are adding 3-point shooting to their game. LeBron James last year had the best 3-point percentage of his career because now this is Steph Curry's league now. Even Anthony Davis is expected, even though he's a whole 7-footer. Still, he should, now they're making him shoot from 3-point range. Our athletic freak here in the city of Philadelphia, Joel Embiid, can pull up from 3-point range. Everybody now is expected to be able to shoot. Back when Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and all that played, they were just expected to just do what they do, be the specialist, be the dunker, be the adaptable player that all of them were. And now everybody's expected to do more, to be able to shoot, to be able to pull up, maybe not from Steph Curry range, but at least be able to have a 3-point shot. And that wasn't the way it was when Kobe played, or when, like I said, Michael or Tim Duncan played. But now that's how it is. Yeah, we're in the Steph Curry's league now. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant's league now, because you're expected to be able to pull up basically from half court now, or have a consistent 3-point shot in order to last in the NBA. And that's where we are now. It's a shooter's league. It really is. It's a shooter's league. That's the best way to say it. It is a shooter's league. And in a shooter's league, you're expected to be able to shoot from 3-point range, and that's where it is. Yeah. So we're gonna move up one of these questions because I want Amita to have, since Matt isn't here, Amita's gonna have her own segment. We're gonna call this just for this week, the Eat Crow segment. So, Amita, you already know what you're eating crow about. So, if LeBron James really joins your Warriors summer, are you going to eat crow and apologize for all the things that you've said about this man? Go ahead, Amita.
Hell no. That man's still the B word. That 3-letter B word to me. Yeah, and he also just came out and said, "Oh, he's denying the rumors." But the thing is, it was posted to ESPN that he was going to talk to my team between now and June. At the end of the season, that he was going to talk to, like he was going, it's on his laundry list to talk to the team. I don't know what that means, but hey. But you got to remember, it's like when Kevin Durant was leaving OKC to come to Golden State, ESPN was reporting that he was possibly looking at a few teams and talking to Golden State was one of them. It was just reports. Now with LeBron James situation, it's big different because first he was looking at the Lakers, then the Rockets. I think I heard a little bit of the Spurs, and now my Warriors. So it's like, where the hell is this guy gonna go after his contract is up in Cleveland at the end of the season in June? It'll be the talk of the town wherever he decides to go, but I don't want that man on my team. That man is hypothetically, if he did come to my team, he'd be the most disgraced player in NBA history of the modern era. All that accomplishments that he made in Cleveland and Miami, all that's gonna go. It's still gonna exist, but people are not gonna focus on that anymore. People are gonna focus on the fact that he can't win. He can't get a ring anymore in Cleveland. It's a dumpster fire team. I've said what I gotta say about individual players on that current roster, and anybody that keeps up basketball knows what's going on with that roster. Their coach is horrible. It's talks of the town that the team's about to be sold, possibly. It's just that team's not going in a great direction, and it's probably for his own benefit that he is a free agent come the summer, because I don't know if he would stay there if he wasn't, for next season. Um, he better not come to my team. I know that much because players on my team, some of them don't like him professionally. It would not work well. It would not. He would throw the balance off on my team. He doesn't play our style of ball on my team. So he would not be welcome too much. Um, he realizes because I think he'll be 34 later this year in December. He realizes he's at that point now where a lot of players contemplate retirement. I mean, Kobe was contemplating it around 33, 34, and he did it at 37, going on 38. So LeBron James doesn't have any more years left in him in the NBA. I would say five tops, maybe pushing it 7. But he's trying to figure out where he's going to go because he wants another ring. Other than the one he got in 2016, he hasn't gotten a ring since he was in Miami. So that man wants a ring. He knows Cleveland will never be able to get another ring with or without him on the court. And he's just after a ring. This is what this is. And it's kind of similar to Kevin Durant's situation, but sort of. But Kevin Durant left a team that lost to Golden State to get his first championship. LeBron, on the other hand, is ring hogging because he already has 3, 1 from Cleveland, 2 from Miami, and he wants a 4th, and he's going to try to do what he can to get one. Because, as the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them, but don't join us because that's not going to be good for you. He's going to be dragged online and NBA talks, ESPN. It's not going to be good on his reputation if he comes to us. So he better take the Sixers, the Lakers, one of them teams, because it's not going to be good if he comes to us.
Let me play this. Let me do this. So it didn't matter to Kevin Durant. It won't matter to LeBron. These people are ring chasing. LeBron already said he's chasing Michael Jordan, so he's gonna go to whatever team will allow him to get that fifth win. And it is what it is.
to him at this point. I mean, listen, it didn't matter to Kevin Durant. I mean, I still got people on my Facebook that I know saying that Kevin Durant's ring from last year didn't count, and I say, all right, then did LeBron James count when he went to Miami and joined a very young and healthy Dwayne Wade to get his first title? Well, that's different. No, it's not different. It's not different in any way. If you are out here still saying Kevin Durant is soft, was LeBron James soft? People always try to get around that and move the goalposts by saying, "Oh, but Miami sucked before he came." Yeah, but Miami was on the precipice of getting into that year of getting into the playoffs. Like they only missed the playoffs by 2 or 3 games. Like this narrative that Miami was horrible before LeBron James got there is not for real. Because a couple of years before that they won a title, so it's not the same. It is the same thing. It's the whole if I can't beat them, let me go join my friends mentality. Now, I know him and Steph Curry have a good relationship by all accounts. So maybe it'll work because of Steph Curry. Maybe it'll work because of Draymond Green. But, for anybody to be out here saying that, it's a week. I understand it that, a lot of us are old school. I'm old school the way I perceive basketball too. But to be honest, man, this is the way the league's been moving. We're in the era of the super team. Like, we're back. People, the one at the 80s era of basketball and all that back, well, it's back. The Warriors are the super team, the team to beat. Just like last time, it was a California team and one team on the East Coast that was the super team. It just so happens that the other team, that's the super team, is not in Boston or Philadelphia or New York. It's in Cleveland. And he's about to leave that super team to go somewhere else. Maybe form one in Houston. Maybe form one like it was referenced in Philadelphia. Who knows? But I feel LeBron's going to go to the Sixers. But I don't think it's a weak move if he goes to the Warriors. I mean, hey, can't beat them, join them. Like Amina said. I mean, I don't believe in all this. Oh, you weak. Y'all have to remember, as Amina said earlier, we are not in the era of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. The whole when the team was loyal to you era. That's not anymore. Y'all saw what happened to Blake Griffin, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Blake Griffin signed a 5-year, $148 million contract. Was sold. Had him and his agent were sold that we're going to build the team around you. Chris Paul is gone. You're our man now. And what happened? And what happened 5 to 6 months later? You know what happened? The Bulls in Detroit right now with that 5 years, $148 million. These teams ain't loyal. So why should players be loyal to them? I want everybody who says that teams are soft or these players are soft to move up. Your jobs aren't loyal. Let me use this common analogy, right? Y'all not loyal to y'all jobs. For real. Let's be real. Y'all not loyal to your jobs? Like, if a better job came up right now in your dream career, whatever that is, like right now, if ESPN offered me whoever, if somebody offered me a sports broadcasting position, I'd leave my job right now in a heartbeat for it. Because just like these players, and just like human beings, you're not loyal to anything because you'll take more money, more everything to go for a dream position and dream everything. So why are y'all mad when players do it? Like I said, LA Clippers just traded Blake Griffin after giving him all that money, right? Because they didn't like the direction of their team. So he traded him to Boston. Now he has all that money in Detroit. These teams ain't loyal. So why should these players be? When LeBron James has his chance, do I think he should go to Golden State? No. But it's his choice. It's not my choice. Listen, I'm gonna join the super. Y'all would go join whatever, like I said, whatever the dream organization you have, the dream workplace you have, you go join that in a heartbeat. So why are you mad at these players? Don't nobody judge you when you leave your job. Don't nobody judge you when you chase money. They chasing rings. They chasing Michael. They chasing Kobe. They want to be up there with them. Just like Michael was chasing Bill Russell. There's nothing soft about it. It's what we do every day. You know, there's nothing soft about that. If that's the case, we all soften. Because I definitely would leave the current jobs I have for my dream opportunity. Who wouldn't? So, you know, it's not a soft move to me. It's soft to a lot of old school basketball people, but like I said, I don't think LeBron. I agree with Amin. LeBron James is not going to the Warriors. If he does go to the Warriors this summer, I would be shocked. But I can't wait to see her reaction if that actually does happen. But even Kevin Durant doesn't believe it, so I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to end up in Philly. I really do. But moving right along to Matt's not here, so we ain't got to do that baseball segment. So, Amina, what is the significance of Blake Griffin's trade?
It's just what you said. How teams once were loyal. Excuse me. Teams were once loyal to their main players. I mean, let's go down the list. Celtics was loyal to Bill Russell. Lakers were loyal to Kobe Bryant. A little bit of the Sixers were a little bit loyal to Iverson. Even my Warriors are loyal to Steph Curry. Just a little bit of loyalty. I mean, OKC is loyal to Russell Westbrook. So to me, it's like the main players in the NBA get loyalty by their team. You know, they will never get traded. They will never get blindsided. Nothing. But it's the other players like Blake Griffin that aren't on their levels, so that he doesn't get those privileges, so to speak. So it's to me, it's like the league they pick and choose who they're gonna be loyal to with these individual teams, which is very unfortunate. I mean, the Clippers, they were doing okay. They're doing okay this season. I forget their ranking in the West, but they're not dumpster fire totally this season. So I don't know why he was traded, other than the fact that the team was not loyal to him, even though he was loyal to them. It was not a two-way street. So hopefully, when he's in Detroit now on the Pistons, maybe, I don't know. But as you said in the previous question, for your answer, this is the era of who's loyal, who's not in the NBA. As far as these teams, not the players, the teams, the owners, and all that, general managers. So that's what I feel. It's just a situation of loyalty.
So yeah, so like Amina said, I really don't have any more to add. But yeah, the Blake Griffin thing is just the reason why so many players will, leave their teams now, because like all these players now are gonna be able to say like, look at what y'all did to Blake Griffin. Like I said, they sold Blake Griffin over the summer on being the guy in LA, right? The guy that they were going to build a team around. And look what they did. Look what they did to him. That just shows you that you can't trust none of these owners, none of these general managers. If you are a player, you can't trust them. You got to be looking out for you. There's no loyal. This is like I said, this is not the loyalty generation anymore in the NBA. Like anybody who's hoping that somebody pulls a Kobe or Jordan or Iverson, stay with a team for 12 years, and like Iverson get no rings for it, this is over. This is why I said it was stupid of Russell Westbrook to sign that contract, because I said this when he signed the contract last summer. He was doing himself to waste another good portion of his career, because he's not going to be able to because he's not going to win anything in Oklahoma City. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to be able to win. So he's doing himself to being in a medium-sized market and losing.
And Blake Griffin was being loyal. He was in a big market and everything. And they traded him to a team that he would have never looked at. It was brought up on ESPN or on another sports network I was watching that he would have never looked at Detroit. And had the Clippers told him they were going to trade him in early February, he would have left. But he was loyal to a fault. You don't be loyal to these teams. These teams don't have loyalty to you. And now the players know that. Now I don't ever want to hear, after what happened to Blake Griffin, I don't ever want to hear that these teams should be loyal. Loyal. What did loyalty get to Marcus Cousins last year, where that man, all he had to do was play for the Kings, work out his contract another year, and he would have gotten a big raise. That man missed out on $500,000 because the Kings decided to trade him to New Orleans. $500,000. That is the equivalent of if you have one more month, you make it past one more month and you get a bonus, right? And your company decided to fire you just so they don't have to pay you the bonus. That is what that is the equivalent of. There is no loyalty anymore. Loyalty died with the Marcus Cousins. Loyalty died again with Blake Griffin. I don't ever want to hear anybody say in the NBA, if you're an NBA fan or an NBA player, be loyal to your team. Why? They're not loyal to you. Sure, if you're not a Steph Curry, if you're not a Kawhi Leonard, if you're not a Joel Embiid, if you're not a LeBron James or a Ben Simmons, they have no reason to be. They're not going to be loyal. Even them, they're not loyal to them. You know that? They're not loyal to them either. But it's just there is no loyalty anymore. When you have your chance, take your chance. Get out. Leave. If your team's not satisfactorily doing enough to satisfy you, leave. That's all you can really do. You gotta leave. If they are willing to do what you need them to do in order to be satisfied, then stay. But the Blake Griffin trade is significant because it's another dagger in the face of loyalty. And it's also significant because, it's significant for Blake Griffin because he goes from a non-playoff contender to a playoff contender. He's going to be in the playoffs with Detroit. He's playing with another big man than Andre Drummond. And for Detroit, they finally have a superstar again. I mean, if you're a Detroit Pistons fan, you're elated. I mean, you got Blake freaking Griffin. I'd be elated too. But it's sad for Blake Griffin because he would have never wanted to be in Detroit. Spend 5 years in Detroit, but here he is. So, it's just another stab at the face of loyalty. So, moving right along. We're gonna hit these questions and then we're gonna get out of here. Will Tom Brady cement his legacy if the Patriots win? Go ahead, Amina.
I don't even want to talk about this question because it puts negative energy into the atmosphere for the Eagles. We're not even talking about this dude. He has no legacy, in my opinion, and he's a cheater, and we all know that. That's what I gotta say about him. But tomorrow is a very special day, and we don't want to talk about him. You can, but I won't.
All right. Well, I'll talk about it then. I guess. Yeah. I guess. I don't expect. Like I said, just being real superstitious. I don't believe it's superstitious.
I'm not being superstitious. I'm just saying that I'm trying not to talk about anything involving that dude this weekend.
Listen. Tom Brady's going to be cemented come tomorrow as the guy. We're gonna get redemption, like I said, and we're gonna beat them. But that's where you're getting me jumping ahead. Tom Brady will not submit his you can't really cement your he's just gonna be up there. He's already up there with some of the best quarterbacks that ever played the game. But he'll submit his legacy as up there because he'll be the first football player ever to have 6 rings. Do I think he will get 6 rings? Not on my Eagles, but will he? He'll definitely put more stuffing into his legacy as the aforementioned GOAT. But to move on to our next question, then, and one that's not even on here, what will Nick Foles' legacy be if he brings the Eagles the first Super Bowl? There's a question that you'll actually answer. Go ahead, Amina. Amina, Nick Foles' legacy. What will his be? Go ahead.
Oh, I was on mute again. Nick Foles, his legacy would, when they win tomorrow, he's going to be, along with Carson Wentz, he's going to be the quarterback that got Philly's curse off their back. It's pretty, there. Like I said earlier in this pocket episode, Eagles is an 84-year-old team. Not one quarterback in Eagles history has accomplished a Super Bowl win for the team. But for Nick Foles to do that, wow. A guy that prior to this season was thinking about retiring, and he's talking about maybe possibly being a pastor because he's very, he has a different calling in life. So, and for people to doubt him from when he took over the season, when Carson Wentz went down up until now, people doubted him every game. So he can't do that. He won't do that. Well, look at him. He's playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow night, and we're all gonna be watching and cheering for him, and we're gonna be all elated, excited, all that once they win and bring the trophy home this week. So I feel as though his legacy is just gonna be the Philadelphia quarterback that got the curse off the city's back. People are going to be talking about him for so many decades to come. Like, they're going to be like, how, why, when. Yeah, this is a special quarterback that the Eagles have, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to win. He has no choice. It's do or do. But his legacy, I believe, once the Eagles do win tomorrow, he's going to ride off into the sunset, retire, go about his business, and just sit back and relax. And he's also going to be known as the quarterback that dismantled Tom Brady's career. That stomped all over New England Patriots' hearts. So that's what I gotta say about that. But he's definitely up there in the great standing quarterbacks of this era, in my opinion. You there?
Yeah, sorry, my dad had called me. Yeah, I'm here. They're calling my cell phone. Yeah. So Nick Foles' legacy. Nick Foles will have a status that is only befallen of a couple of people in the sports history of Philadelphia. He's going to have God status. There's GOAT status here in the city of Philadelphia, and then there's God status. He's going to be right up there with Dr. J, Allen Iverson, and then there'll be him because he'll be the quarterback that broke the streak of the like I said earlier, the 1A team here in Philadelphia. Like I said, the 1A team is the Eagles. I mean, in 2008, the 1C team, or no, the 1D team lost. Won a World Series. I mean, we went crazy, and you would have thought that the Phillies are the 1A team, but anybody, and me and Amina would tell you that as far as baseball here in the city of Philadelphia, obviously The Phillies are the fourth team here. The first team being the Eagles, the second team being the Sixers, the third team being the Flyers, and then the fourth team being the Phillies. But that all depends on what your state is. But anybody who's actually from here will tell you that. That's the official actually born in Philadelphia standing of the sports teams here, right? So when the Eagles win, this man will have God status. Status enjoyed only, and I know as a Christian myself, you know, some people might feel this is blasphemous, but I'm just telling you what his status will be in this city. It won't be, some people will say it's going to be icon status. No, I'm telling you the truth. It's going to be God status. You know, I have not been listening to the sports radio talk because, you know, I don't really like listening to sports radio, especially the listeners that call in. But, you know, I can just see it now, be God status. I mean, we were doing a Foles, people in the stadium were doing a Foles chant when he won the NFC Championship, his first NFC title game. The first time this man was in the NFC title game, he won. Like, and the first time he's going to be in the Super Bowl, he's going to win. Like, and then like I said last week or the week before, hashtag Kyler was right. He will probably most likely ride off into the sunset. The Eagles will need to get a backup quarterback, or maybe they'll convince him to stay for another year and take his $12 million and just sit on the bench. Maybe they can convince him to do that. But if they don't, he is going to ride off into the sunset, go be a pastor, go enjoy his family. 29 years old, going on 30 sometime this year. Young man. And he can just go enjoy himself. But he's going to have God status. The legacy of Nick Foles will be the guy that ended the Eagles' drought. Not the city's drought, the Eagles' drought. Because, you know, there's a difference. The city has gotten the title in 2008, right? And, you know, we get a title basically every year because the Philadelphia Soul win an Arena Football League. I know nobody cares about Arena Football, but we get a title every year because of that. So, you know, as far as the major sports team, yeah, we're starving for a football championship. There's a difference. We're not starving for a championship. People don't get it right. We're starving for a championship in football. We want a championship for the Eagles in football. And, you know, Nick Foles right now, I just think this is going to be Nick Foles' moment. He gonna win the title, ride off into the sunset. His legacy will be God status. I mean, that's the best way to put it. It's going to be God status. You know, it's going to be God status. He's going to be up there with Allen Iverson and Dr. J. It's going to be God status. It's God status. That's all I can really say. It's going to be God status. That's what his status will be. Some people will call it icon status. I call it God status because that's what it'll be here in Philly when they win tomorrow. It's going to be God status. So Amina, our next to last topic, unless you want to. Now, before we get there, we're gonna get to what people came here to see. Our Super Bowl predictions. Well, we're gonna go full homer. I'll start. The Eagles are gonna win, not just because. Here's what I'll say, right? And I can't take credit for this because I heard this on ESPN. You go up and down. If you put the Eagles roster and the Patriots roster together, right? And you put it together, right? The Eagles are better at every position besides as if Carson Wentz was playing, I'd say we're probably better at quarterback. But Carson Wentz ain't playing besides quarterback, and this is debatable to me, tight end, right? Other than that, they don't have better wide receivers than us. Brandon Cooks is not better than Alshon Jeffrey. They don't have better running backs than us. You know, they have one better cornerback than us because they have Malcolm Butler, but their cornerbacks and their secondary ain't better than ours. Their offensive line definitely isn't better than ours. Their defensive line isn't better than ours. Their middle linebackers aren't even better than ours, right? So the Eagles are going to win, not just because I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm going to say that because I have to show my face in the city of Philadelphia. I can't have it on tape that I picked against the Eagles. But it's not even just that. But it's the fact of they're going to win because they're the Eagles. And they fight. They've been fighting all year. They've been saying people have been doubting the Eagles all year, saying they're gonna finish. Amina, I'm not gonna rehash this. They're gonna finish bottom in the league. They have all these injuries, but they're still here. They're gonna win because this is, like I said earlier in this episode, the personification of Philadelphia right here. They're gonna win because they're better than the Patriots in every position besides quarterback and maybe tight end. But they're gonna win because they have better skill positions. They have the better coach who uses his talent better. Yeah, I said it, at Kylan W. Watson. And Bill Belichick, yeah, he's a tactician. He's a machine. But he's never seen somebody like Doug Peterson. And Doug Peterson is adaptable. This is the one thing that Bill Belichick has never faced in his life, an adaptable coach to what he's doing. Doug Peterson is going to adjust everything that man did, everything that this man does. He's going to be ready for the Patriots, but the Patriots ain't going to be ready for Nick Foles. When he throws all over them to Alshon Jeffrey going to have a big game. LeGarrette Blount going to have a big game against his former team. Chris Long is going to have a big game against his former team. I'm calling it right now. Eagles 24, Patriots 17. The Eagles defense hasn't given up any more than 17 points their last 6 games. Nick Foles, somehow the media and other fans think Nick Foles is a turnover machine. Nick Foles, when he plays for us, is not turning the ball over in a couple of games. He has the best QBR of any quarterback in these playoffs right now. He has the second best QBR in playoff history now outside of Joe Montana. This man is going to get us a title, 24-17 Eagles. We're going to get it by a touchdown. We're going to beat the spread. A lot of people are going to be mad. Hate on us if you want. Fly, Eagles, fly. EAGLES. We're going to win. That's it. I'm gone. Go ahead, Amina.
Kylie is crazy today. Yo, I agree with everything he said. Patriots, they think this is the Eagles team of Andy Reid back in the 04-05 season when it was Terrell Owens, Donovan McNabb, and all them on the team. This is not that team, and this is who they think is coming to play them. This is a whole different team than it was 13 years ago, and this team is better than them. So I believe that the Eagles are going to win by 3 to 6 points. I believe that the Eagles are going to show up and show out like never before seen. This team got doubted even back in training camp this season. Preseason, doubted. Regular season, doubted. Playoffs, doubted. NFC Championship, doubted. They won all that. Minus 3 games they lost this season. But they're being doubted for the Super Bowl. So they're going to keep the doubting train going, and they're going to win, bring the trophy home. And I feel bad for those Cheatriots. They don't know what's coming for them. So I don't have an exact score, but I humbly believe that the Eagles are going to win by 3 to 6 points over the Patriots.
Listen, she being too nice. We'll see y'all at the parade on Tuesday or Wednesday. Y'all stay tuned for the Super Bowl show that's coming right after this, regardless of what happens. Hopefully we'll be happy. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. You want to talk about that father that almost beat up Larry Nassar, or you want to save that for next week?
All I know is that a dad of, I think he has 2 or 3 daughters that were sexually abused by Larry Nassar. He attacked, I think he nearly or did attack
He tried
Larry
to.
Nassar in the court. And
Try.
he told the judge, just give me 5 minutes alone with this. I think I forget what word he used, but he said
That's
he just
okay.
wants 5 minutes. Yeah, he
That's
just wanted
okay.
5 minutes. Yeah, he just wanted 5 minutes alone in a room with him, and hey, he did what any parent would do. But my thing is, they should have just let the dad have him. Like, but hey, I wonder how he's doing in prison now for the rest of his life. He'll never see the outside world again. So
Well, hey,
Larry
I mean,
Nassar, Larry Nassar
yeah.
is over. He's dead to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't really got nothing else to add about that. You know, y'all need to be. I don't even know why they still doing these impact statements. I mean, but he did what any father would do when you have three daughters that get sexually abused by the same guy, and you have daughters that say they never. I'm not gonna get into this, but this statement always makes me cringe whenever I hear it. Whenever somebody says, "I'll never be able to trust a man or a woman again because of what this person did to me and everything," and I know that that's psychology and everything, and you need to get it all out. That's why I'm not gonna touch it because I don't want to start something with that. But one of his daughters said that, and that's I guess before that, or maybe after that statement, that's when he tried to attack him. And as a parent, I'm not a parent, neither me or me to have kids, but as a parent, I believe that's what I would do to protect my daughters. But obviously, you would hope that you never let that person in. And like I said a couple podcasts ago, you never hope that when your kids want to do sports that they'll get attacked for trying to follow their dreams of just I don't know if any of his kids made it to the Olympics, but at least if they were good enough to be seen by him, they at least made it to I guess somewhere near Michigan State or being Michigan State students maybe, or maybe they were famous gymnasts, who knows. But to have that happen to a whole family and to have to do rebuild your daughter's trust in men again as a father got to be a heavy burden. And that's what I would hope that you wouldn't have to be attacked. Obviously he got off easy. The judge decided not to charge him. She said she understood his emotion and everything, but you gotta. I agree with Amina that yeah they should have let him be alone with him, but obviously that's not how if Courtney was here she would say that's not how the system works. No matter how much emotionally we understand it, that's not how the system works. But it's a shame, and this family's going to have a lot of rebuilding to do. But it's just a microcosm of what this man did. He damaged a lot of women's trust in men. He's damaged a lot of families. I mean, and now he's going to be in prison the rest of his life. But the damage that is done to these families is going to be irreparable. It's going to take the rest of these. I don't know. I've seen his three daughters. You never can tell, but they looked about maybe 22, 23, maybe in their 20s, maybe younger than that. But they're going to have to do a lot of rebuilding. But that's just a microcosm of every other family. I know that there's been reported that a lot of these parents are angry because they failed their kids. They got manipulated by him and everything. So maybe that's just him lashing out because of that. But with that wraps up our show. Like I said, I'm going with the Eagles 24-17. Amina's going with the Eagles, uh, you know, by 3 to 6 points. But we're going with the Eagles, like I said. We should have a show again no matter what happens, where it's either gonna be happy us or sad to emotionally not able to talk us on Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday. We'll have another show where we talk about the Super Bowl. But I want to thank Amina for coming out and rocking out with us. Y'all don't know, she literally just got up and came on this podcast. That's a dedication right there. And I thank her for coming through. Like I said, hopefully we'll all get to meet at the parade on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever they decide to have it, maybe even Thursday. But yeah, so it's Super Bowl weekend. Enjoy the last week of the football.
for the next 6 months. Y'all have fun. Go Eagles, fly. To you Patriots fans, sorry, not sorry. Have fun, enjoy your weekend, be safe. Stay warm. If you're going to Minnesota, definitely stay warm. If you're not, stay warm and enjoy in your household, enjoy your families, enjoy your parties. Have a great Super Bowl weekend. Fly, Eagles, fly. Deuces.